the most quintessential Indian instrument, even more than the sitar, because it comes nearest to the voice.
I became interested in Indian music when I was a teenager in the States during the 60s, when it was more popular in the West than it is now. The Sarangi, somehow I loved the most when I heard it. I couldn't imagine that the sound that it was making was coming from an instrument with strings and played with fingers. It sounded like such a round sound. You know, it's a stage if you're a Westerner who's gone, a young, impressionable Westerner who's gone to India with ideas, not quite understanding that this isn't religious music, it's not spiritual music, it's not, this is art music that's grown up also in the courts and in the brothels. When I was the end of 18, just before my 19th birthday, I went to India and started learning Sarangi.
Who were your main influences, your teachers?
Many. Ustad Sabri Khan here was my first teacher. My second teacher was Pandit Gopal Mishra, and I learned from Hanuman Prasad Mishra, the father of Rajan and Sajan Mishra. Then I learned from Pandit Dilip Chandra Vedi in Delhi, and my dearest teacher was Ustad Abdul Latif Khan in Bhopal. Very, very precious talim I received from Muhammad Ali Khan, Ustad Muhammad Ali Khan. He was the last functioning Sarangi player from the family of Ustad Bandhu Khan. Zakhan Khan in Benares. Very much Sarangi players have been replaced by harmonium players in accompanying vocal music. Sarangi players have been discriminated against because of their association with courtesans and India's ridiculous shame over the courtesan tradition, which, well, in the words of Ustad Abdul Latif Khan, these women kept our music alive for the last 400 years. Sarangi players are mostly Muslims, and Muslims have been having a harder and harder time in India. Hindus and Muslims, as I understand it, in the world of music coexisted happily for the most part for hundreds of years. And this is something awful that's been stirred up by fundamentalists. So this is the Sarangi. It's carved out of one piece of hardwood, wood called tun, which has been called Indian cedar for no particular reason that I can understand. This particular instrument has 41 strings, 3 of which are playing strings and the other 38 are sympathetic strings. And the evolution of the Sarangi is basically, it began with a 3-stringed folk instrument that still exists, I mean, in various forms all over India. And slowly people added sympathetic strings. It appears to be the first instrument in India that had sympathetic strings. It was the most popular instrument in the 19th century, by far the most widespread instrument in India, because every brothel had a Sarangi player all through North India. So the main thing about the Sarangi's technique is that it's played with the top of the fingernails or the cuticles or the skin above the nails in the left hand, rather than with the tips of the fingers. Sarangi, you really need to know how to deal with it. You need to know the gauge of the strings, of the sympathetic wires, and lots of little things how to make it sound good, which depends completely on the bridges, on how you file the bridges and the height of the bridges, how you set it up. how you make the skin. And this is part of what it is to live with a sarangi.
And sarangi players do these sort of things. It's unbelievable. And I can't imagine why people can't listen to this and think, gosh, that was beautiful.